Hi, I'm Angus Kress Gillespie, your host for Old Ways in New Jersey. I'm here today with Dana Ronyack-Davis. She's the co-owner and winemaker for the Rebel Sheep Wine Company in Chester, New Jersey of Morris County. Now, this is a winery with a very interesting story. They're rather unique in that they make wines with no traditional wine grapes. So they are rebels. Instead, they use ordinary American table grapes because they feature and highlight wines made with fruits. They use fruits such as apples, peaches, blueberries, and strawberries. Now, I recently made a visit to their tasting room, and I ordered a tasting pour. I was very afraid that these wines would be far too sweet. Wow, was I ever pleased and surprised. These wines tasted semi-dry and sophisticated. Yes, I could taste the fruit, but I was not overwhelmed with sweetness. I was eager to learn more about how Dana pulled this off, and it's my pleasure to welcome her to our studio today. So Dana, tell me, when in your earlier life did you first decide to pursue a career in agriculture?
In my earlier life, I would say I've always had an affinity for being outside or doing things like that. And then my senior year in high school, I got offered an internship with the USDA Natural Resources Conservation Service. And I started doing that. And then that transitioned into agriculture, my love for agriculture. And then I met my husband, who was a farmer. And that really, accelerated my ag career, I would say.
And going back a little bit further, tell us about your education at Delaware Valley College.
Okay, so Delaware Valley College, now it's a university, of course, after I went there. They became a university, but it's a smaller ag school in Pennsylvania, in Doylestown, Pennsylvania, so right outside of Philadelphia. And they really specialize in agriculture. It's a really good school if you want a hands-on education in agriculture and animal sciences. Any of those disciplines, it's a really good school. And I studied agronomy and environmental science when I was there.
So early on, you were oriented towards farming and agriculture.
Agriculture, getting my hands dirty, being outside. I love soil science. I loved working in soil pits, and I just like that.
Well, that segues nicely. Give us a little background about the Stony Hill Farm.
Sure. So Stony Hill Farms was started by my in-laws, and it really started out as a wholesale cut flower business. They're a florist.
That's right. Yeah.
And then it transitioned into more horticulture, like fruits and vegetables, when my husband went to college. And then we've just added on agritourism and now the winery, just slowly adding stuff on. But Stony Hill, its name is because of the soil, because it is very stony and it's on a hill. So we really like to, talk about our soils, I guess.
Yeah. And so how did you meet Dale Davis IV?
Yes, the fourth. We're on to the fourth now, but...
that was 2008, is that right?
That's when we got married, yes. So we met freshman year in college. We had a lot of classes together because it is a small school. So he graduated with a horticulture degree.
That makes sense.
It does. Makes sense. Yes. Yeah. And we're in the same classes, a lot of soils, crop science. We took a lot of the same classes. We met, we started dating, got married in 2008. And I decided if I ever wanted to see him, I would have to work on the farm full time because farmers work a lot. So
well, you have to forgive me, but I think he was very lucky to meet you.
I mean, I do too. Most people say that, but yeah, we work really well together. He has a lot of the technical background, the growing background, and then I come in with like the science part of it and kind of managing that aspect of it.
As I recall, the farm started in 1988, but then, what was it, 2021, you made the decision to go into the wine. Tell us about that decision.
So that decision just came out of a really good year for apple growing, but I remember
the story.
Yes,
okay, yeah.
But a very bad season for weekend pick-your-own agritourism. So we didn't have a lot of customers out that year to pick the apples, and they're sitting on the trees, and you don't want to waste all that work you put into them. So we decided to start pressing our own cider, and that transitioned into making hard cider and wine.
So it was the excess of apples, basically, that kicked this whole thing off.
It kicked it off, and now it's the excess of everything. So I'm fermenting our excess rhubarb, strawberries, raspberries, anything I can get my hands on.
And were there any state grants that helped facilitate this movement into the wine making?
Yes, a lot of help from grants, a lot of help from, I would say, the Garden State Wine Growers Association helped, but I got a value-added producer grant from the USDA, which is a really good program if you want to do some value-added products. And then also the New Jersey Economic Development Authority had a manufacturing voucher program. And so we're manufacturing wine, so we got some of our equipment costs covered with that grant. Not covered
I didn't know
all the way,
about that. What's it called again?
The New Jersey Economic Development Authority.
Oh, that's a big help because it's expensive
Oh,
equipment.
the equipment is very expensive. Yes, anything can help when you're opening a winery.
And been puzzled. The name Rebel Sheep Wine Company. I get the rebel part because you're making fruits.
Yes.
With regular grapes, but why sheep? That threw me off.
So the sheep there's a lot of parts that go into the sheep. Part of it is it's like an agricultural, product, sheep, but also, we feel like we're part of the herd of winemakers, part of the family, but we're just a little bit rebellious. We're a little bit off the path. So we're in it. We love the wine community, but we are kind of the outside rebels of the wine community.
Okay. The sheep family. Yeah,
correct.
Okay, I get it. And tell me about the opening of the tasting room. I think you started making the wines in 2021, but the tasting room doesn't open until 2024.
Yeah,
tell me about that.
That's New Jersey for you. It takes a long time to get the permits and the licensing, and that amount of time was good for us because we really experimented a lot with the different fruits because the fruits are very difficult. They're also different to work with. And it took us that long to basically get our license, get our recipes down, do the makeover in our barn to make it look like a tasting room. It was an old dairy barn, so it needed a lot of, painting and all that. So it took us that long to open, but I'm glad it took us that long because we took educational classes. I went to seminars. I went to anything I could, read books, read blogs, just so we could learn how to perfect our product.
Yeah, I like the tasting room. It's a long bar, so there can be several attendants, so you don't always have to fall in line. But there's about 6 tables, and then the spillover can go to the patio outside. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You were aided. There's a pre-existing customer base for the flowers and the vegetables.
Yes. So you were talking about how we started in '88. We started leasing the property where the winery is in 2001. And that's where we started the agritourism business. So people already knew about us, coming to visit us for apple picking, the corn maze, that kind of thing. We also do a lot of tailgate farmers markets on the eastern part, Hoboken, Jersey City of the state.
Oh, yeah.
So people really know our name already. So we did have existing customers, contacts, email, all that. So when we opened the winery, it was beneficial to have that customer base that was already coming to the farm, and we're like, they just saw something new there and got to try a different product from what we grow.
Yeah. And tell me a little bit about your relationship with the New Jersey Wine Growers Association.
So, the New Jersey Wine Growers Association is the main association of the wineries in New Jersey. And it has a board, executive director, but they do all kinds of events. We have meetings. We stay on top of legislation. But they really were very helpful when I was starting up. I'm very glad that I joined that organization. Just the camaraderie and the help you get. If you ask a question, someone will answer it for you. They're very supportive of each other just because there aren't very many wineries in Jersey. I know 60 sounds like a lot, but compared to other states, it's not a lot. And it's a small community and it's very close-knit.
And what about the Rutgers Agricultural Extension Service? Has that been helpful?
So that's for us, for me, it's helpful more for my husband and me on the growing side of things.
Of course.
So, because we grow apples, we grow basically almost every fruit and vegetable you can, besides wine grapes. But we do reach out to them a lot. We scout with them for our crops. But as far as the winemaking side, the wine agents are more, I would say, in the south part of New Jersey. And we also don't have grapes. So we're just doing something different. So we reach out more to like the horticultural agents up in our area.
Yeah. And as I understand it, the table grapes that we eat ourselves, they're bigger, the skin is thinner, and there's no seed. The wine grapes, they're smaller, the skin is thicker, and there's a seed. Which grapes do you actually use?
So we grow table grapes, but it's not the grapes that you would normally find in the grocery store. The ones we grow are smaller. They're varieties like Jupiter, Somerset, Marquis, but they're suited to grow in our environment. But they can go either way, but they're mainly for eating, fresh eating. They're sweeter, they are seedless. But we do grow them, and I use them in my peachy green. And I do make a wine called Girl Crush that is only table grapes, but it's lower alcohol. So they don't get as high as sugar. They don't stay in the vine as long as like a wine grape would. So that's the difference.
So that's very interesting, your explanation. Yes, you use table grapes, but in the table grape family, they're a little bit smaller.
They are the ones we grow, we have.
And so that makes them more suitable for the wine.
I don't know if it makes them more suitable for the wine. The skin is definitely thinner than a wine grape. It's just, we only want to grow varieties that grow well here in New Jersey on our soil type. And those are the varieties that we really don't have a lot of grapes, only about a half acre. We grew, I think there's 5 varieties there, and we were kind of testing it out to see which one grew the best, which one we liked the best. And then we will probably decide to plant more.
And do you have to buy grapes from outside?
No, we don't buy anything. My whole thing is I like to use everything from New Jersey.
Yeah.
So I'm using anything and everything that grows well in our state. So I make a blueberry wine. We're a top producer of blueberry. I make a cranberry wine, even apple, strawberries. So I don't buy in outside juice or outside grapes or anything. Everything I make my wine out of is a second. So it's something that somebody else couldn't use. So if I can't sell blueberries on the road on a tailgate market, I'm bringing them back and I'm fermenting them. If my peaches go too soft, I'm bringing them back, cleaning them up and fermenting them. So it really came out of a desire to waste less. So that's why we don't particularly like grow something specifically to make our wine with.
Do you grow cranberries?
We don't grow cranberries. I get them from South Jersey, Whalen Farms. I get blueberries from Consolo Farms in South Jersey. We're the garden state, and we grow blueberries and cranberries very well. We grow a few blueberries, but not enough to make wine from. And same thing with cranberries. They're more of a South Jersey. They need more acidic soil, more sandy. Yeah.
And they often use the bogs.
Correct. Yep. They have to flood them. Yep.
So how many acres do you have?
We farm a little bit over 500 acres.
Wow.
That's not all in like fruit or vegetable. We do hay, crops as well on those properties. But we grow a lot of different stuff on a lot of different properties.
So how many types of fruits do you grow?
Oh my gosh, I don't even know. We grow peaches, apples, apricots, blueberries, cranberries, plums, nectarines. I don't know, did I say strawberries? I can't even. Grapes, cherries. Oh, I'm probably missing something. A lot.
Do you grow enough grapes?
For me, I do. I like using the weird stuff. So, I could see us planting a little more grapes.
Yeah.
But I like using the other stuff. It's fun.
But right now you're not buying grapes from outside.
I don't buy any grapes now.
No. Okay. How many cases of wine did you produce last year?
Cases?
All right.
I don't. I know we did a little over 2,000 gallons. It's hard for me to say cases.
Oh, that's
I don't
okay.
know, a few hundred
2,000
pieces.
gallons.
Yeah.
So it's a modest start.
Oh yeah, it's a modest start.
But in the future there'll probably be more.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That scares me a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the goal and the hope is that I will grow more, but I like where we're at right now because of the variety that we're doing. It would be difficult to do a larger volume just because I have so many different fruits in so many different tanks.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Yeah.
That's kind of interesting. How many tanks do you actually have?
How many tanks do I actually have? I have maybe like 15 or 16 tanks. They're all different sizes because there's some of them are, so I have like a 120 tank, and then my biggest tank is only like 250 gallons. So I don't have those big tanks. So
That makes sense because you're doing so many different things.
yes, yeah, I do a lot of small batches.
And so turning to the agricultural side, how do you deal with weeds at your place?
Weeds, that's a good question. So a lot of the weed control we do by mowing, hand, tillage and all that stuff. And we do work with Rutgers for the Integrated Pest Management Program. But weeds really aren't the biggest issue. It's more, I would say, wildlife where we live, deer.
Pests.
Pests, yeah.
Birds.
Birds for the fruit crops, deer for everything. Deer are not our friend.
And how do you divide up the work with your husband? You're both agricultural experts.
Thank you for saying that. I don't feel like that, but I would say more of the decision on what we're going to press or what we're going to blend or how we're going to do things is more on me, and what we're going to name things and the marketing and that, where he's more in the field growing the stuff, but definitely when it comes to like bottling, all hands are on deck for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
But it's kind of fair to say that he's on the agriculture side more and you're on the production side more in general.
Yeah, in general, I would say that, yes.
Well, let's move on, discuss some of my favorite wines at your place.
Okay.
And like I was so surprised. I said, these fruit wines, it's going to be terribly sweet. Huh? Wow.
Yeah.
It's sophisticated taste. This person must know what she's doing.
Thank you. I don't feel like that either, but that's one of my goals in this is to try to really break the misnomer of all fruit wine has to be sweet or all cider has to be sweet, hard cider. I would like to change people's minds on that.
Let's talk about some of my favorites at your place. Let's begin with Ice Queen.
Sure. So Ice Queen is our apple, it's ice style wine. I'm not allowed to say ice wine. That's trademarked in Canada, I guess. But so we use one of our really high sugar apples for this. We cryo extract the juice and then we ferment it. So that's why we call it Ice Queen, because it is cryo extracted, and that's how we get, a higher alcohol. It's 100% Evercrisp apples. I don't know if you've ever had them, but they're really good, really sweet, and we grow them. We grow a lot of dessert apples, which helps with the high sugar content, which helps with getting higher alcohol.
Yeah, I was very pleased. It was kind of tart with a tangy finish.
Yes, and it's pretty dry.
Yeah,
for a nice
I was
wine.
Amazed, and it's a picture of the Queen on the label.
Yes, it's named after someone. We won't say who, but but yes.
Okay, let's move on to the next one.
Sure.
Blue Collar Berry.
So, Blue Collar Berry was one of our first ones we did. 100% blueberry wine. It's, I would say, semi-sweet, but yeah, it's. I love the label. I love the blueberries are kind of more like on the grapes based on some of the other fruits I use. They're a little easier to work with, except the acid. They are pretty acidic compared to grapes, but yeah.
But not too sweet. Yeah.
No, this one we didn't make too sweet.
Okay, and let's talk about the Peachy Green.
Peachy Green is, there's a lot to talk about with this one.
Yes.
Our mentor / educator / consultant kind of told us he didn't think we could ever make a good peach wine. So we said challenge accepted. His last name is Green, so that's why this is Peachy Green, and this is his likeness on our label. But this was also one of our first ones. We grow a lot of peaches. And they are very, very difficult to work with. In the winemaking world, they're hard to filter, they're hard to press, hard to process, got to take the pits out. But I think we did pretty good. It is blended with some of our table grapes, but it's still mostly peach.
And I understand it's aged for 8 months in an oak barrel.
Oh, yes. Sorry, I didn't mention that. This is in an oak barrel, and so is blueberry. We only use, we don't have any new oak. We have all previously used oak that had other wines in it. But yes, it was an oak.
Tell me more about this skeptic, Mr. Green.
I know. What a skeptic. No. So I took the winemaking certificate class with Penn State.
Okay.
And he is the educator for that program.
Oh.
And after we were done getting educated by him, I didn't want to stop. So I asked him to help consult and try our wines and really give us advice. And he was really a driving force in opening our winery because he never doubted us. Like we definitely doubted ourselves, like myself and my co-winemaker, Sarah. It was difficult. We couldn't find a lot of resources. Nobody's really doing what we're doing. And he really stood by us and helped us, even when he thought we were crazy with some of the stuff we're doing. We put hops in our wine and peach, but he really is an inspiration to us, and he helps us out a lot. Yeah.
The hops help with a little bit of bitterness.
They do. So some of the fruit we're using grape's a perfect fruit for wine. It has the tannins, it has the juice, the sugar. So a lot of times we do have to add certain things like the hops to give it some bitterness, or tannins, or sugar, or acid. It really depends on the fruit you're working with, whereas a grape is almost perfect. You don't have to doctor it too much as long as you have good grapes, but it makes it just more challenging and more rewarding when you make something that people actually like.
Yeah. And how about the Bog Romance? But this is the still version.
This is the still version. We did it both ways. It's actually the only co-ferment we have right now. So I co-ferment apples with cranberries. So, that really helped out with the apples are kind of higher pH and the cranberries with the low pH. It just blended really well together. And it got kind of like a rosé color. And then it's called Bog Romance because cranberries grow in bogs. So we kind of made a little play on a song with that one, but yep.
And in the world of wine, whom do you admire the most?
Besides Mr. Green, I don't know. It's hard to say because of what we're doing is so different. There's not a lot of people doing it. But I would say as far as New Jersey wine community, I really admire the executive director of the Garden State Wine Growers Association, Devin Perry, and then their legal counsel, Audrey Gambino, which you should go to her via Milagro. She's just very knowledgeable, very supportive, and very helpful. And then, of course, Mr. Robert Green, the man, the myth, the legend. That's what we call him.
You mentioned the New Jersey Wine Growers Association. Have you been to the event down in Cape May, the Grape Expectations?
No, I haven't. Unfortunately, I am a northerner, and that is very far south for me.
It's extremely far south.
So I have not made it there yet.
Yeah. Any tips for somebody who's first getting started in the wine business? So
tips for getting started.
If one of our viewers was thinking about doing this.
Do they live in New Jersey? That's the first step. If you live in New Jersey, maybe go to another state. Now I'm joking, but it is very difficult.
We have a lot of regulations.
The regulations are hard. I did have to, even to get my license, get a lawyer involved. It's very hard to do on your own. It takes a lot of money and a lot of time.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of field work, and it's not just the wineries. The breweries have a lot of legal problems too.
Correct.
We got to take a new look at the regulations.
We do, and I know Governor Murphy was trying to revamp the laws and everything, but we have so much more work to do with being open to support these small businesses. We really do.
This sort of feeds into my next question. Maybe we've just answered it. What's the hardest thing about winemaking?
The hardest thing about winemaking is a lot of it is the regulations.
The paperwork.
The paperwork, what we have to do. We have to submit permits for everything we do. To transport wine, I have to get, a sticker on my truck, and it's this much money. Every time I make a new variety, I have to brand register it with the state, and that's just the state. And then you're going on to the federal level, and just the amount of paperwork it takes, and we really need to revamp it. It's not A lot of it is physical paper. They really need to update their system, get more things online. You shouldn't have to be mailing in a paper form in this day and age to the government. That's how I feel.
On the other hand, what's the most rewarding thing about winemaking?
The most rewarding thing is when you see a full tasting room. When I get people like you who say, wow, this was good. To get to this end product takes a lot of work that people don't see. But when someone enjoys it, I really do like it. And even if people just try it, trying to get people to like fruit wine, I feel like someone trying it is a win in my book.
Yeah. Now, we just said the disadvantage of New Jersey is the red tape and the regulations. Are there any advantages to doing wine in New Jersey?
We're the garden state. We grow a lot of stuff really well. There's amazing things people can do with the fruits of New Jersey. I really love blueberry wine. I really love cranberry wine. Two of the big things that we grow here. I think more people should be making them and promoting what New Jersey's known for growing.
Yeah.
And then the people. We have a lot of people in New Jersey, a lot of people that like wine. We just got to get them to come out and see all these wineries.
Yeah. A potential advantage, there's so many people, hopefully some of them will catch on.
I hope so.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
And basically, what do you see the future of winemaking in New Jersey?
So I think the future of winemaking in New Jersey is we really need to start focusing on the terroir of New Jersey and what grows well here. A lot of people are trying to, get Pinot or Merlot, and those don't grow here. So they're buying outside juice instead of trying to find out what does grow well here. And that's what I think is important.
Good point. Well, Dana, I want to thank you for coming here all the way from North Jersey.
Yeah.
Here to East Brunswick Television. It's been a real pleasure. I've learned a lot. Thanks.
Okay, thanks for having me.